Hey everyone, this is Chris back with the Bimmer Barn, and today we're going to be answering the simple question of, can you find good BMW parts at the junkyard? So I'm here at the LKQ Pick Your Part in Orlando, Florida, and we're going to be looking at some of the vehicles that they have available. Sorry about the noise there. And some of the parts that are on these cars, and so what you can expect when you come to the junkyard to find some BMW parts in case you need to find something for your car and you're a DIYer like me. So let's look at all the cars, and then at the end of the video we'll talk about if some of these parts are worth buying or not. So here's our first car. This is a 2008 328i, and I know that only because it has a really handy sticker here. But looking inside the car, you know, obviously this is at a junkyard, so a lot of people have come through here, grabbed most of what they needed. Some people come through and they grab the expensive parts and then try to sell them on eBay. But a lot of times it's just a mix of this and that. So if you were looking for the front trim, for example, because yours was cracked or damaged, then here it is, and it's probably for a good deal. If you needed a battery tray, you know, tie down, then you've got one right here. There's bits and pieces of the interior here that you can grab. Some things like the cup holder are probably not going to be good. But let's say you seized up a caliper. There's your fresh caliper, fresh suspension, not really fresh, but used suspension pieces. Let's say that you cracked a tail light. You know, you can grab one of those out here for a good deal. And all you need to do is grab the tools to pull them off. So this is a 328i. And there's still a lot of meat left on the bones, as they say. But yeah, let's take a look at some other cars here. Now right next door we have this E46. Let's see what year this one is. It's a 2004 325i. This one kind of caught my eye because of the E46 we're rebuilding, but unfortunately this one has a gray interior. You can see it still has most of the original interior in here. You know, all the doors are locked. That might have something to do with why people aren't grabbing parts out of it. But you know, if you need an instrument cluster or something like that, this car is basically complete. Now from a drivetrain perspective, you could even grab the motor out of here if you're willing to take that risk. Honestly, I wouldn't use a junkyard motor unless I knew the car was running previously. But you know, you can grab odds and ends off of here if you need a quick alternator, you know, bumper replacement, OEM stuff. Good stuff to find here at the junkyard. And I was hoping to find some replacement rear lights for my car, but unfortunately all the cars that I find here, they either have the same damage, or like in this case, it has the damage and it's not even the correct tail light. So this is like facelift or non-facelift, but it definitely looks different from the ones on my car. So something you're gonna run into when you're at the junkyard is the compatibility of certain parts. You wanna make sure that you know what you're grabbing and that it's gonna work on your car, because if you just grab it based off of the looks, you might be grabbing a part that does not actually work or fit on your car. Now here's a 2007 328i. This one, can open the door here, still has most of the interior. It looks like it hasn't been touched a lot yet. Looks even pretty clean in here. There are some hand marks on the carpets, but you know, you have full interior dash, you know, trim pieces, cup holder. You need an e-brake handle. You're trying to put together your car for the cheap. This is where you're going to find a lot of parts. And you know, sometimes you might even get lucky. For example, you might have a 328i that has a dented door. Let's say it's dented like this, but it's the front door. Well, you could come to the junkyard, grab the same door, and a lot of times you'll be able to tell by the color if it's going to fit your car and if it's going to match. And that way you don't have to do any paint when you install some parts on your car. So things like the trunk, anything you can unbolt and take off, might as well grab it. Now here I thought I came across a good choice when I saw this, you know, 325i. It's a sedan. Looks like it has the tan interior, and the center console looks to be in really good condition. Might have even been, you know, rewrapped at some point, because you know, you see these little folds here. But unfortunately, you know, I was gonna pull off this center console and use it for our car, but it looks like this one is broken over here, so there's really no purpose. And that's kind of par for the course, as they say. You know, a lot of people are in and out here really quickly. They're trying to grab the headliner, trying to grab the sunroof cassette, the seats. You know, these doors are even gone, so maybe someone got lucky and they had a black E46 and they were able to use these really clean doors. But unfortunately, that's not going to work for us. and so that's not going to help us at all. But again, you can find a lot of good stuff here at the junkyard. I like to come out here, peruse and look. This E60 right here also has a ton of good stuff on it still. And you know, if you need something like the front end, you need a crash bar because yours is bent, this is going to be a great place to find some of that stuff. You've got an E65, E66 7 series right here. There's tons of BMWs at the Orlando junkyards, and I'm sure at other junkyards around the world, because these cars crash just like any other cars. Of course, this one has a lot of parts in it because nobody has messed with it yet. I wonder if these seats would work in the E39. That is a cool looking seat. That would be a good upgrade, actually, some seat like this. Now, I just went and confirmed with the front office staff. This rear bench seat altogether is going to cost me $34.03 after tax. So I'm going to go ahead and grab it out of this car because it's in really good condition. The leather is supple on it. And the ones on the back of the E46 car that I have right now are all torn up. They're dried from the sun and faded and all that. So I think this is going to be a good rear bench seat for us. I found another car that has front seats that'll match really well, but they're manual, and I haven't decided yet if I want to grab those or not, because those are going to be $34 a piece each, so that'll be $60 for both front. Still a great deal, but I'm just not set on I'm not certain that I want to grab those yet. For now, let's go ahead and pull these out. Now, here are the front seats that I'm looking at. Pretty good condition, manual, like I said. But yeah, not too bad condition. The leather isn't dried up yet. Same thing over here on the passenger seat. A little less worn on the passenger seat, obviously, but I think that these could be cleaned really easily. The only complaint is over here on this one, but again, I think I might have to come back for these. I just need to grab a 16 millimeter to get the bolts off down here and have some extra room in the car. So we are back home now, and I want to show you guys exactly what we were able to grab and why we grabbed it. Here's the new rear bench seat, top and bottom. Here's the old one from my car. You can see that, you know, folding over there, really dry along the top, cracked and peeling. Along the bottom here, a little bit of discoloration over here. It's just dry leather. So this stuff was in much better condition here, much more supple leather. I think it's going to give us a better opportunity to restore it using some like Meguiar's leather spray. And we'll just clean this up, we'll install it. We also got the rear pillars because these ones came with the headliner material on them, and ours already started peeling off, again, from just UV exposure and heat and all that. So we're going to be able to install those, install these seats, and then maybe later we'll grab the front seats as well. So that's a little different content for you for today. I hope you got a good idea of some of the things that you can find at the junkyard here, and also, you know, what you can expect when you should go to a junkyard. And you know, one thing that you might want to consider too is check out the prices for the parts, because a lot of junkyards just have flat prices across the board, no matter what car it is. If it's a Buick or a BMW, they don't care. They'll charge the same price for a set of seats. Here, for example, it is $25 for one seat, a bucket seat. So let's say I found a sport 18-way adjustable BMW, you know, E39 seat or something like that. They would charge me $25 for it, and that is a crazy good deal. But again, you have to think about some of the things like these cars sitting at the junkyard for so long. They get sun exposed, they get rained on. A lot of times the doors are left open and stuff like that. So you have to think maybe some of these electronics aren't working, and that is a bet you're gonna have to take yourself. So that is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching and you learned something. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys like to buy parts from the junkyard, and I hope to see you in the next video.